This is Nathan Stow with Bill Miller Boys, your press, of course, interviewing Coach Espinosa of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I hope you're having a good summer.
Yeah, we're having a great time, actually. It's a pleasure to be in front
it's
of
fun
a
to
competitor.
be here. Always fun to be here with you.
You know, I had a good questions. This is going to be definitely about the draft. Just came out with an open draft list and draft order, and we kind of want to ask you some questions about maybe who could be some potential fielders the first round. Everybody's got their eyes set on one wide receiver in mind that we may consider you as a coach selecting in your organization. We know you've been in contact with Antonio Brown. He's expressed concern about being on the Stallman, and he kind of wants to move up in the barracks, if you will, and go to a caliber playoff victory team. And he had stated that he really was interested in negotiating with the Feelers, a team that he played for and went all the way to the championship last time he was on. He wants a taste of that ring, and everybody knows that the first three players selected will most likely be 90% running backs. The first three, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and then, of course, Ezekiel Elliott, probably being the first-round pick.
Yep.
So you're confronted with, an option of really talented wide receiver that could potentially have the best season of his lifetime. He goes out there and he typically always has a consistent, consecutive, high-scoring fantasy point game. So we want to talk to you. Is there a potential? Did you want to come out and publicly say that you'll be drafting Antonio Brown?
I do, but not first round. He is a good player. He's a good athlete, and I would love him to be on the Steelers, and I'm honored for him to say that my team is a high-caliber team. But the thing is, he's relying on an old Ben Roethlisberger to throw to him. So, he was kind of on the line inconsistent last year, and I'm more of a consistent coach. So, if I can get him, I hands down will draft him. If he's ready in the second round, but I think I'm going to go fall in the line and getting a pretty solid running back in the first round, like all the other coaches. I feel like running backs get more touches. They touch the ball a lot more during a game. You get a lot more points. They average a lot more points. So I think I'm going to go after a pretty solid running back.
Can you see any other coaches throwing a curveball and perhaps not even selecting these running backs, these high-caliber David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell? In which case would you probably capitalize on?
I'll have to see when the draft's here, really. I really don't have my mindset on who I'm going to get. But once the draft's there and I'm on the spot, and I'll do a lot more thinking. We got like 2 more months till the draft is there.
Definitely.
So I have a lot more time to think about who I'm going to draft.
For sure.
We do draft winners, and I'll say this. Whoever's there and whoever I feel is going to give me the best opportunity to win a championship and be a leader and a good sportsman, I'm going to draft him.
Coach, it looks like you almost 2 years in a row made it to the championship round.
Well, I made it to the championship my first year. Yes.
Right. Well, 2 years in a row, almost 2 years in a row. You had 2 consecutive championship competition match. Can you tell me what your strategy is for going about this draft? It seems like you have success every year. You want to enlighten us on what you've been doing? Is it a lot of research, countless hours? We know that's what it takes.
I have some
to
good
be a
sources. I have a good crew of coaches that tell me who I need to. I hands down give it to my scouts and my coaches. They tell me, like a couple of years ago, I remember they told me this was the first year I had Matt Ryan, and they told me to start him over Ben Roethlisberger, and I did, and Matt Ryan scored like 40 points. So my coaches know what they're doing. They tell me, and I go ahead and do it. But we have
a very successful organization.
Yes.
And I guess your goal would be the same thing this year, right? To make it to the championship round and maybe capitalize on an opportunity. We know that Coach Gonzalez has that championship from last year. We know Coach Lampman of the 69ers has now a championship, a trophy. So there's a lot of competition in this league, and